Where'd that bucket go? The wind's been crazy the last few days, and I don't know where that bucket's gone. That bucket's gone. So we gotta find a different bucket because that sap's just draining right back into the ground. This is how we're collecting our sap, just a 35-gallon tank, hook up a hose to it, drain it into our evaporator. But right now we can just dump all our sap into here since it's all in buckets. This big chunk out. You know what? I'm just gonna leave this bucket. There's not a whole lot in it yet. These just started draining today, finally. So these are down in a divot, little valley. Don't get a whole lot of sun. It's finally warmed up, and you can see where they're starting to drip off now. It's really starting to go. But it's just starting in this valley. So this is where my sap should be running a little bit better. This road, if you see down there, it gets to dirt. No difference in plowing, just a lot warmer, a lot more sun. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. She's filled right up. I think we're gonna have pretty good luck here. Now this is exciting. I'm walking over to this one. I see it dripping out the side. So I am guessing that it's completely, I know it is, completely plumb full. Holy smokes. Should have got a bigger bucket. Look at them just draining. One thing I really like about these bags is that they give me a good indication of how well the sap's flowing during the daytime. So I don't do a whole lot of them because they are expensive, but just doing a few gives you a good indication. Yeah, okay, my sap's flowing pretty good today. No it's not, and so forth. So they're pretty nice. If you're just doing a couple trees though, they're great. It's a sap sack holder by Tap My Trees. They do just great. This is the second season using these bags, and they're still holding up really well. Sure you want me to do that? How many of your wives can do this? You want to taste it?
Yeah. I'm gonna taste it.
Just stick your finger in it. What does it taste like? It's what? It tastes like sap? I got these buckets at Julian Tomatoes. They're pickle buckets. Smells like pickles. So it's gonna be like pickled maple syrup, I think. We did wash them out, but still can't get rid of that wonderful dill pickle smell. So this is where I'm boiling down the sap. All I have is a bunch of bricks. You can get them at Lowe's, a little over $1 a brick, and put it together where you can put your wood underneath and then boil it off. I bought this tray right here, and this holds about 15 gallons of sap, And then you've got these two actually warming trays that I bought online as well, and they hold about 5 gallons each. It's actually quite a bit. I'm surprised at how much it is. So it's working its way to start boiling. And I'm just adding wood as I need to. Once this starts really boiling, you're going to see a lot of steam coming up. This steam's going to warm these up. When the steam warms these up, then once this boils down, I'll be able to add these, pour these in, and then go on from there. So it's a pretty simple setup, but it works pretty well. So, and man, my fire's really going now. Look at it coming right out of there. So hopefully we'll start doing pretty good here pretty soon. There's a chopper coming over, and this is our beautiful sunset. I'm finishing cooking down the maple syrup here in a stock pot. When it's near the bottom over the fire, I then take it off the fire and put it in a stock pot because I want to make sure I get it done perfectly, and I don't want any of it getting charred or burnt and making any maple candy. I want it all to be maple syrup. So I use this candy thermometer to give me a good idea of what the temperature is. I boil it down to temperature. The meat thermometer, digital thermometer, gives me an exact of what temperature I want it to be. So I want it to be at 219 degrees. 219 to 220 is perfect. 220 is a little thick. If you like a thick maple syrup, 220 is great. If you like it just about a medium thickness, 219 is great. So it just depends on what you like. We like some a little bit thicker, we like some a little bit thinner. So it just depends on what you're using it for. We also have a hydrometer here. If you look at the hydrometer, I want it between the reds. So the reds right there, I put the maple syrup in here and drop it down, and it is right between the reds right now. So we're going to be turning this off and getting all our bottles filled. So right here, we're using the maple syrup filter. So what I do is I'm scooping up the maple syrup, just like this, dumping it right in there. And this filter, you can get a lot of different maple syrup filter or supply stores. This filter specifically I got from a good friend of mine in Maine who does his own maple syrup as well. And these work really good to get the minerals. These work really well to get the minerals out of your syrup. This is why you filter your maple syrup. You can see in here, this is all the mineral deposits from the tree that we're filtering out of the syrup. This stuff is still good. Not that it tastes good, doesn't taste great, but it's not bad for you. So if you have some in the bottom of your maple syrup jar, it's fine. You can eat it. It's just not real tasty, that's all. So this jar right here is filled with maple syrup that is incredibly hot right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this mason jar. I like it in smaller jars. And this one, and actually I'm going to put it in about 5 of them. That's what it's going to fill. Use these rings and use these lids. I boil these lids and rings in water for about 5 minutes just to sterilize them. Once you get the maple syrup in the jars, go ahead and throw the lid on top, put the ring on as well and screw it on tight, and then you're going to flip the jars sideways. What that's going to do is that's going to seal that lid because that heat of the maple syrup is going to be on that lid until it cools down. It's going to suction that lid right to the top, and you're going to be all set to go with a sealed container, and you're not going to have to worry about mold or anything or becoming contaminated. Now, if it does not seal for some reason, you can also water bath these. All you do is you take these containers, you put them into water in a pot, get that water to boiling. Once it's boiling, start your timer for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of boiling, take those out and they will seal and you'll be all set.